Hi, my name is Andi Lian. I am auditioning for a Bachelor of Arts in Theater and Art, and I attest that I am the person who applied for GCU, and I am the performer in this video. Today, I'm going to show you my portfolio and a little bit of work that I have done in the theater. First, I wanted to show you some costume design that I did for my school in November of 2018. The show was directed by Simon Kaplan. It was called Nicholas Nickleby. All of the costumes for this show were acquired in-house, which means that the actors brought them all in, or we went to Goodwill or Party City to get them. For example, this white button-down, I told the actors, you could probably bring that in yourself. But for things like this big skirt or these fun tops, we went to Party City or Goodwill to get those. And in here I have included a photo of the measurement list that I had for all of my actors so that I could make sure that the costumes fit them. Another show that I costume designed for was Music Man. This was performed in April of 2019, also directed by Simon Kaplan. We got to rent pieces from Costume Connections for this show, which was very awesome to be able to work with them. Their warehouse is like Candyland. And I have also included a photo of the spreadsheet that I had for what actors needed. So this blue color represents pieces that we rented, this orange-brown are pieces that we bought, and these white are pieces that they brought in themselves. I also makeup designed for this show, so a lot of them were base makeup, which was very simple. I sketched it out and gave it to the actors, but some of them had more unique designs. Like one of them had a peacock eye, which was all blues and greens, and so I had to sit down and sketch that out and go over it with her and say, hey, do you think you could do this on yourself? The next thing I did was some set design, which was also for my school. We did Into the Woods Junior in April of 2018. This was directed by Diana Adkins. As you can see, we had some flats in the background, which we sketched on, and then we had a parent in the theater program who was painting them for us. These cobblestone walls here are just foam that we adhered to a flat and then spray painted to look like cobblestone. The trees are chicken wire base with a paper mache and paint over them, and they were on wagons so we could easily maneuver them. Here you can see that we've got some canvas that we painted and threw over our flats, that way we could kind of double them. So this right here is the baker's shop, which we threw over these two flats right here, and then we pulled back to show that they were in the woods. This window back here I wanted to highlight is part of our castle, and it's just made of an air filter. We knew that it had the lattice design on it, which is what we were looking for, so we thought, hey, why make something new when it's already there? So we cut it out and just put it right there. Another great experience I had was being the fire master for the show The Crucible, which was put on in October of 2018, directed by Chris Hamby. We used live fire in this show. As you can see, we lit some candles, and we had a pot that had a sterno underneath of it. So it was my job to hold the fire extinguisher backstage. I had to learn how to use that, and to watch the fire at all times, make sure nothing was happening. When the fire came off stage, I put some water on all of the candles. I made sure that the sterno was taken care of. There was no oil dripping everywhere. And so that was a very good experience for me to learn. I've also done deck crew for a number of different shows. The first one I included here was Beauty and the Beast, which was performed in May of 2018, which was directed by Chris Hamby. Here's a photo of all of us tech crew on the set, and then the set in action. This was a great experience because it was my first time in a community theater, and so I was really able to learn about all the traffic patterns, and I also was a props master for this show, so I had to keep track of all of that, and that was really incredible. Another show that I did was Spamalot in September of 2019, which was directed by Peter Hill. I was also the props master for this show, so I had to make sure that all the props were returned to where they were supposed to go. I was also in charge of making sure this lovely guy here, his name is Jack, I had to put him on stilts, as you can see, and he's already very tall, so he was very tall in those 3-foot stilts. And he was also on this ladder that I had to make sure got where it needed to go, was safe, was secure, And so I took care of a lot of dangerous things for him in that show, and I'm very glad that I was entrusted to be able to do that. I also worked as a spotlight operator for Christmas Carol in December of 2019, which was directed by Chris Hamby. I worked as spotlight operator number 1, so here's a picture of me from the catwalk looking down. And so I spotted Scrooge almost the whole show, unless when I was spotting the narrator. But this was a totally different experience from, let's say, doing deck crew, because I had to learn cues. I had to know when I was on, when I was off. I was on comm for the entire show. I couldn't just ask anybody what was going on, so I had to be very meticulous with that. And I've also included a copy of my resume in this file for you to look over. So thank you so much for your time and looking over my portfolio with me. I look forward to seeing you in my interview.